They thought it was a prank. The boy's stuffed rabbit was perched on a chair, a knife pressed to its throat. It looked staged, dark, like something out of a horror movie, and for a moment they laughed, until the scratches appeared, carved into the father's skin. As they watched, no one was within touching distance. This wasn't a ghost story, it was a house in South Shields, England, and for nearly a year something inside turned violent. It began just before Christmas 2005. A young couple living in a quiet terraced house with their toddler son. Nothing unusual. No history of trauma, no talk of spirits. But then the little things. Toys turned up in odd places. The front door, locked at night, would often be wide open by the morning. And their son, just 3 years old, began talking about a man named Sammy. A friend in his room no one else could see. They weren't frightened, not yet, but something didn't feel right. So the boy's parents, Mark and Marianne, started keeping a log. Not to prove anything, just to make sense of it. To check if they were imagining it. But the more they recorded, the worse it got. They began sleeping with the lights on, just in case Sammy came back. Objects began to fly. Coffee mugs launched off the countertop. Toys hurled themselves down the stairs. Furniture moved when no one was home. Once the boy's rocking horse was found hanging from the loft hatch by its reins. They threw it out that night. By morning, it was back in the house. Another time, a cup flew out of an upstairs window. The blinds were down. The window was locked. Still, they tried to explain it away, until the house started aiming. They contacted 2 seasoned investigators, Houran Ritson from the Society of Psychical Research, and Mike Hallowell, a veteran investigator in anomalous phenomena. Both had logged years of skeptical inquiry into hauntings. Poltergeists, in their experience, rarely performed on cue. Until this one did. That night, a plastic toy materialized mid-air, shot across the room, and struck the wardrobe. No one had touched it. The haunting was live, and it wasn't subtle. From July to October 2006, the investigators embedded themselves in the house. They slept there, recorded everything, and saw what they couldn't explain. A plastic bottle balanced perfectly on edge, tilted, frozen, as if gravity had forgotten it. Rubber balls fell from the ceiling, toys appeared from nowhere, coins dropped, hot to the touch, like they'd arrived from somewhere else. Then came the messages. The child's magnetic doodleboard read, "Die, go now, stop it now." And then the phones. One night the landline rang. A robotic voice repeated, "Hi, hi, hi." Then, "You will die today. I can get you when you wake." They traced the call. It had come from Mark's mobile. But his phone wasn't on. The battery was out. The SIM was missing. They dismantled it, removed power. Still the calls came. "Please don't go. I will come with you." Then it got stranger. Photos on their phones deleted themselves. Video files vanished, sometimes whilst being played. The family started sending files to the investigators in real time before the house could erase them. And once, when they flushed the toilet, the water came up red, thick, but gone before anyone could test it. Then it got physical. One night, Mark jolted upright in bed, shouting. His chest was burning, and in front of two witnesses, bloody red scratches began to form across his torso, deep, angry, as if something invisible was clawing him open. One attack left his body shredded. 12 people saw it. 4 caught it on film. This didn't happen once. It happened 5 times. Even Ritson, the investigator, later said, "I saw the scratches appear, one by one. I don't care what anyone thinks, I saw it." And then dead heel. Too fast, as if whatever had marked him had taken it back. But it had already made its point. The house wasn't just reacting, it was learning. It punished Mark. Toys struck him, knives missed him by inches. A wooden bed frame tipped onto him, pinning his arm. But it hadn't forgotten the child. Twice the boy was found wrapped tightly in blankets, once under his table, once locked in his wardrobe. Both times asleep, eyes open, still breathing, but not there. They heard voices, soft whispers from the attic. A deep, unintelligible male voice came through the baby monitor. No one was upstairs. Even when the child wasn't home, the house responded. Once a foul-smelling puddle appeared on the boy's carpet, still warm and reeking of urine. They tried everything: cleansings, blessings, tech fixes. The entity's response? Laughter, heard by multiple witnesses echoing through the house. It hijacked their TV recorder, recorded ghost shows, mocked them in real time. And still they stayed, because no one believed them, and nowhere else was safe. It didn't just want to scare them, it wanted control. And eventually they stopped trying to fight. They just endured. By late 2006, the house had changed. No knocks, no messages, no attacks. For almost a month, nothing. But then it came back. One final curtain call. For a week, the house turned on them again. Doors slammed, plates shattered, toys flew across the room. The phones, silent for weeks, rang again. The investigators documented what they could, but no one ever found a reason for the return. No last message, no final threat. And then silence. The family moved out. No interviews, no press. Even their names in the investigators' reports were changed. But the records remain. Photos, audio, signed reports. Over 20 witnesses gave statements. And when independent researchers reviewed the case, they said, if the events happened as alleged, the documentation supports them, then this is one of the most serious modern cases on record. The researchers later published their evidence in the South Shields Poltergeist, a detailed log of photographs, messages, and witness accounts. You can review the evidence for yourself, but this wasn't the only haunting captured in real time. In rural Wales, another house fought back, Heol Fanog, the most exorcised house in Britain. But don't expect a gentle ghost story. This one doesn't want to be forgotten either. Click the card and dive in, and if you're still here, you're part of the archive now. Subscribe to uncover stories no one was ever meant to remember. I'm Nico, and I'll meet you in the next mystery.